Hello and welcome to Still Got Legs, a Doctor Who Rewatch podcast brought to you by Another Happy Studios. Scrambled, fried or fertilized, how do you enjoy your moon? Hello everyone, welcome to Still Got Legs, a Doctor Who Rewatch podcast, the only one that exists in the world. There are no others, because after my little meltdown last week, they all felt bad and retired. My name is Nathan, and as always, I'm joined by my wonderful companion as we go on this fantastic journey through time and space and rewatch all of Doctor Who. Hello, Lawrence.
Hello.
Shut up, no one cares. We've also picked up a stray this week and are joined by sometimes recurring companion, Catherine. Hello, Catherine.
Hello, thank you for having me. I like my eggs poached.
Okay. All right. That wasn't an option, but it is good to know. It's good to know.
Catherine, of all the semi-returning companions of the show,
Of which Catherine is the only one.
No, as in in actual Doctor Who.
Oh, actual. Okay. All right,
you're getting too lore deep, Nathan.
Yeah, I am sorry.
Who would you most rather be?
Probably a Sarah Jane Smith.
Yeah, 100%. School reunion. Told you, Nathan.
Okay. All right.
Oh, we're starting early.
Yeah, sorry.
Just immediately getting Catherine to settle debates.
What do you think about the episode, Catherine? School reunion.
I think school reunion's a banger.
There we go.
I think it's fine. Okay.
I think you've overcorrected. I think you've got, because you know I like it so much, you've gone, no, I have to not like it at all. I think that's what you've done.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
The chips make them smart. What's wrong with that?
Yeah,
the
exactly.
chips do make them smart. Look, it's a perfectly fine episode. I just don't think it's the greatest episode of all time. Okay?
You've not been eating your chips, clearly, because you're sounding dumb right now.
Good one. Well done.
Thanks.
Anyway, did you like my intro?
It was shocking, but yes, I did actually like it.
Why was it shocking?
I just wasn't expecting it. A fertilized moon.
Oh, okay. Not shocking as in awful.
No. It made me clutch my pearls, is the better way, I guess.
Okay. Well, I feel like that's a you issue. I feel like you need to...
I'm saying it was good.
Okay. What's shocking about it? I don't know. What's pearl clutching about it?
Oh, stop getting bogged down. Catherine, what did you think of the intro?
All right.
It gave me a vivid flashback to the old man pub near me that had a sign up for a long time that said, "I like my eggs fertilized." And I was transported back.
Okay. I'm sorry to have had to brought that up for you. Anyway, what is going on?
Doctor Who, really? Or are we doing some...
The moon's an egg.
The moon is certainly an egg. Is this the one where the moon's an egg, Nathan?
Oh, will you shut the fuck up with that, man? My entire life. I'm sick of this. Anyway, yes, this is Doctor Who episode 111. Also episode 111. All the ones for Still Got Legs. It is, of course, Kill the Moon, Season 8, Episode 7. Written by Peter Harness. Directed by Paul Wilmshurst. Possibly Wilmshurst. I don't know. But that guy, anyway. And yes, the moon is indeed an egg. What do we think?
Oh, guess first.
I don't like this episode. I'm sorry. I look, I want to come on here and be really positive
You don't
and
have
like
to.
the show.
Yeah,
no, I know, but
to.
I want to, because I drop by every so often. No, I don't like this episode. I didn't like it at the time. I think this is the episode I stopped watching Doctor Who week to week at. I'm pretty sure.
Damn.
And
Brutal.
I haven't seen it since. And going back, I was right the first time.
Just validating
Brutal.
your own opinion, like, yep, I got that one right. Way back in 2014. What do you think, Nathan?
What do you think, Lawrence?
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. Like, I just... there's some stuff that I don't mind. Like, there's some tense stuff. I think it, looks nice. And there's some interesting character stuff. Nathan's shaking his head. It does not look nice, according to him. I think there's some semi-decent character stuff towards the back end, but it's all, I don't know, we know what it's going for, and it's pretty gross and pretty dated, and I think it's a bit narrow-minded and a bit, I don't know, strange. it doesn't know what it's trying to do because it seems conflicted on what stance it has, whilst also enforcing that it has a stance, like the entire time. Weird.
That's the thing, though. Does it have a stance?
Well, all right, but then I think you don't get to bring up the conversation and then go, who knows?
Well,
like you brought it up.
According to the guy who wrote it, we'll have to see. You know?
Well, yeah. All right, what do you think?
Anyway, I also do not like this episode. Okay.
Yes, a full house.
I think... Well, I'm not finished. Hold on.
Oh, okay.
I should say I don't like most of this episode. Okay.
Right.
For me, this episode is in two portions. Okay. We got two distinct parts of it. And one of them I can quite happily never watch again for the most part. Like, I completely forget about it. I can portion it off. I can say goodbye. Never need to deal with you. Then there's another part, which is quite possibly one of my favorite moments in all of Doctor Who. Okay. Ooh. And I fucking love it. And I have watched, it's basically one scene, but I have watched it like over and over again. And like, it's so fucking incredible to me. And it's pretty much the only thing I remember this episode for, really. Like, obviously there's all the memes to it and everything. The moon is an egg, very fun. But like the actual scene I enjoy from this, it's just transcended the episode. So like, whenever I think of Kill the Moon, I don't think of the moon is an egg and the moon's a baby or whatever. I think of this one scene. But that's just me. So there we go.
Interesting. Shall we jump in?
No.
Okay, all right. Well, how's everyone's day going?
It's just started.
All right, It's the moon. 2049 is the year, much like Blade Runner 2049, a good movie. Clara is chatting to the Earth. She's got to make a terrible choice. As intros go, this is quite tense, quite interesting.
We see the orange jumpsuit straight away, so that's fun.
Yes.
I do like the orange jumpsuit. Yeah, I do like that we get that straight away on Clara, no less. Now, I think first time it's ever been seen on a companion, I believe.
Really?
Maybe, yeah. I don't think anyone else has ever worn it, so it's only ever been the Doctor up until now. So
yeah. I think I'm cycling through in my head. I think you are correct.
I am correct. Anyway, I guess we saw it on. It wasn't the same one, but we saw a version on Orson Pink.
Companion,
not Danny Pink. Well, no, not a companion, but more. What I was getting at was someone other than the Doctor, basically. Yeah. Yes.
I didn't realise Orson Pink left such an impression on you.
I often think about him. There we go. Anyway, yes, they're on the moon. Well, they're not. Clara's on the moon, and she's with Courtney, and she's talking to the Earth, the people of Earth, because there's a terrible decision to make. She says, an innocent life versus the future of all mankind. We have 45 minutes to decide. That so happens to be the length of an episode of Doctor Who.
That's convenient, isn't it?
Bit of fun. I enjoy that.
Yeah, I do too. I tell you what, I do think this sets it up nicely, right? I'm not, by the time we circle back around to like this scene and how it plays out in the episode, not great, but like as in terms of like an intro to an episode, it throws you in the deep end, and I'm enjoying that. I think it's nice. I do love this. The kind of off look to Courtney, and you're like, oh, Courtney's here. What the fuck? This shit must be fucking wild right now. But yeah.
Shit must be wild because Courtney's there.
Well, but like it's shit's. There's a child here. And something tense is going on. It's dramatic.
Right. Okay, interesting. Anyway, titles. It's probably our quickest one yet.
I wrote that down. Is it time for an ad break?
No.
I think we should do one just for tradition, though.
No, it's entirely too early for an ad break.
We can do two and put the first one here.
No, we're not going to do that. Okay.
But the money.
Shut up, man.
Think of the money.
Shut up.
Oh, Richie Rich.
I know, there he
again.
is, hoarding his wealth again. Typical billionaire Lawrence Hisey, all right?
Hoarding my £2 from KFC or whatever it would equate to.
Hoarding your wealth, all right?
Right, what's happening next?
Credits.
Yes, the credits. After the credits.
Coal Hill School. Oh, I'll tell you what's happening. The Doctor's wearing a fun little shirt.
Oh, I didn't like it.
Oh, did you not? Did you not like his little polka dot shirt?
No, I think I didn't like. It was buttoned all the way. I don't know. It just felt too busy.
He always wears a buttoned all the way shirt, though.
I know.
I like it because it's something different. It's not like just his usual plain like white shirt or plain blue shirt or even just his little jumper, which I quite like. I think the jumper's his best look. But I don't know, it's just a nice little polka dot shirt. It's a bit of fun, I think.
I think so. He's experimenting with a bit of flair.
Yeah.
Seeing what sticks. Yeah, I like it.
No, I like
I'm
it less.
sorry.
Now.
Oh, for fuck's
Now that you like it, I like it less.
Well, do you know what? I love it. It's my favourite Doctor look
Well,
of all
I
time.
hate it now, okay? I think it's his worst look.
I do like the kind of how this opens up with Clara essentially speaking to the Doctor, like, you can't just tell kids they're not special. That's really rude to do. And he's like, I don't get why everyone's got the ump with me about this. It's a fun kind of back and forth. Apparently Courtney's been like taking the psychic paper and just hasn't been able to let the TARDIS go since she first discovered it.
She's been using it as fake ID. And Clara says she's buying white lightning or alcohol.
White lightning.
Oh, God, that takes me back. Do you remember white lightning? Jesus Christ. That stuff is lethal, man. Just a big, like, the biggest 3-litre bottle of cider you've ever seen in your life. And it costs like £2 or something.
Yes. Yeah.
Horrendous, man.
Get me out there on a field with that.
Yeah, just in a field or in a back alley or something, just passing that between 6 people.
That's culture right there.
That's true British culture right there. Who's gathering up the courage to go ask someone outside the shop to buy it for them, you know?
What would you do now? Because we're now of the age where we could go and buy our own white lightning. If you were encountered by a kid that was like, can you go buy me white lightning?
I have been. I told him to fuck off.
I probably
I'm not
wouldn't.
buying a kid alcohol. Let's break in the law, Lauren.
Yeah, I know, but think back to your younger self.
Yeah, I'm not doing it.
How revered you would have been by youth.
I
don't need that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not desperate for the approval of little teens. Okay, so
well, no, look, I'm in the same boat as you guys. I never said I would do it either. So let's move on.
You sounded like you would.
I've never done it, but I might do it. If someone asked me to do it, I might do it. Oh, but the crime. It is a crime, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, hear that. The underage listeners have still got legs. Ask Lawrence to buy him alcohol.
It's part of the Patreon. If you sign up to a certain tier, I have to come to where you live and buy white lightning for you.
Jesus Christ. I don't know if I'm comfortable with that. Anyway. Lawrence visiting underage members of the fucking...
No way, hang on, let's nip this in the bud right now.
Well, that's what it is.
Yeah, but you're taking it to a place I don't want it to go to.
Well, you're the one saying it. Anyway.
So Courtney's in the TARDIS. She's got an anti-sickness like patch on that the Doctor thinks is a vortex manipulator. Bit of fun.
What? An anti-sickness patch?
Yeah, because last time she was in the TARDIS, she was throwing up, wasn't she?
All right. She got an anti-sickness patch?
Something like that. I don't know. What was something on her wrist, I think.
All right. I don't know what you're on
I
about.
thought it was a vortex manipulator, but I didn't.
Oh, was it actually?
I don't think she's got an actual vortex manipulator.
I don't know what Courtney's doing.
There's 3 of us here and none of us know.
None of us have any clue. I might have a look, actually. See if I can figure it out.
We're going to the tape. We haven't been to the tape in a while.
Oh, well, she says it's travel sickness. But, I don't know, you don't get a clear look at it, though. So
she might be fibbing.
Badly directed. That's what I'll say. Badly shot.
Badly shot.
Yeah, it's no Happy Feet, directed by George Miller. So,
no. For fuck's sake.
But what is, you know?
So the Doctor's got rules: no being sick in the TARDIS and no hanky-panky.
Rule which has been broken many times, surely.
Yeah, so...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at your wife, man. That's a result of hanky-panky in the TARDIS.
Yeah, I know, but it's a weird way to get there.
How?
I don't know.
It's exactly what happens.
Yeah, I know, but I don't know. There's something weird about it.
I don't know if there was, but fine.
I feel like there was.
Is this a thing? I've heard that this is like a classic thing. Apparently, like an old doctor once upon a time was like, no fucking in the TARDIS or whatever.
Don't know.
He said that in his transatlantic accent. He said that.
All right.
Were they fucking in Classic Who?
I can't imagine there's much fucking going on in Classic Who. But I don't know.
Not on screen, but off camera, they're filth.
Senator Jane. There'll be no fucking in the TARDIS. You know, I really think you might not want to have hanky-panky. Yeah.
Oh, good stuff. So yeah, the Courtney's upset because the doctor really did tell her that she's not special, and the doctor tries to appease the situation by offering her the chance to be the first woman on the moon. Surely someone's been on the moon. Surely a female companion has been on the moon before with the doctor.
I think he means like first in terms of history, though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That offer never really expires, though, because he can just keep going further back, can't he?
Yeah.
When you think about it, yeah.
Yeah.
But like, I think still in like terms of Earth's historical record, like they're not going to be like the official Earth record is not going to be Courtney Woods was the first woman on the moon, apart from like this classic Who companion, which we don't actually know about, who has been on the moon that one time in this episode of Doctor Who, you know?
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah.
Anyway.
But yeah, so off they go to the moon. They land on some sort of space station. It's had better time. It's had better days.
It's a shuttle.
Is it? Oh, no, they don't land on the shuttle. They land in the station and the shuttle land. Oh, no, they are in the shuttle.
They land on the shuttle as it crashes on the moon.
We all know what's happening.
Did you watch the episode, Lawrence?
It just took some of us longer to get there. Right?
Did you watch the episode? Once again, I feel like you're just, just passing by on this.
If I could do this from memory, I would love to. But the fact that even my notes are like, I can't even go by all my notes. So there's no chance I'm doing this on memory.
All right, yeah. So they land on the shuttle, and it's like surrounded by nuclear bombs. It's full of nuclear bombs, and the doctor like notices the gravity is fucked up. Nothing really happens here. I feel like we can skip forward to something actual meaningful.
Yeah, this is one of them episodes where like now we've landed, we have to do big introductions, and then absolutely nothing happens for like a long while. What is happening? Let's breeze over it so we're not missing context for stuff.
What do you mean?
Well, like we can speed run it.
Okay.
So the crew walk in. No, we've immediately landed on something I want to discuss. Right. Okay. There is a fun back and forth about how they're going to shoot the doctor, but I like the way Peter Capaldi's just kind of bouncing around the scene, like, oh, shoot this little girl first. Like he just talks the situation down to a more calm scene.
Who wants to shoot the doctor?
Some randos that come in. They're like weird astronauts.
So the actual people who are there to go to the moon to do the mission realize there's some kind of like some other people aboard their shuttle, which is why they come in. They're like, who the fuck are you guys? We're going to shoot you or whatever. Yeah. And then, yes, the doctor says, go ahead then, shoot us.
He says, shoot the little girl first.
Yeah. Shoot the little girl first. Yeah, that's what he said. Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. I like the way Peter Capaldi, he's like testing out the gravity by just kind of bouncing around. Like it's so clear that he's just not paying them any mind. And I quite like that.
Yeah, they're asking why they got the nuclear bombs. And basically, all right, something's wrong with the moon. Okay, so the doctor figures out that something's wrong with the moon. He's testing the gravity. He's throwing down his yo-yo, as he often does. And he knows that something's up. He says it's put on weight, and the astronaut lady asks how that's possible. And basically they come to the conclusion that it's some kind of alien problem. Something is wrong with the moon because it's causing all kinds of chaos on Earth. Tides so high they're drowning entire cities. Like all kinds of shit is going on. Catherine.
One thing they say is so I will say, I don't want to get all Neil deGrasse Tyson up in here.
Sure.
Because, like, things... Look, I will let anything go in sci-fi. It doesn't have to be scientifically accurate. Where's the fun in that? I do think it's insane when basic facts that are Googleable are missed.
Yeah, that's fair.
So one thing they say is high tides everywhere.
Yeah.
That is physically impossible.
Okay.
Because there's only so much water.
Okay, yeah.
So the way tides work is the bit nearest the moon and the bit furthest away have high tides, and then it has to be low tides elsewhere because the water's being pulled.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
See.
Yes. Okay,
that's gravity.
Yeah.
So it cannot have high tides everywhere at once.
Yeah,
and they specifically say that.
Water, yeah.
Yeah.
But let me posit this to you. This is 2049, okay? So maybe the ice caps have melted quite considerably and there's a lot more water. Would that
You still can't have them everywhere.
Okay, yeah. Well there we go. There we go. Wrong, Doctor Who. You should have hired Catherine to be your scientific advisor, okay?
So they head out. They head out. Courtney takes the first steps on the moon and absolutely fucking butchers the quote, which I thought was quite a funny moment.
Yeah.
One small thing for a thing, one large thing for a thing, or something. Yeah. She says it's good stuff.
You got Clara going so much for history.
Why even bother at that point? You know? Why even bother with a quote at that point? But no, good for her. Good on her.
What would you say? Because you want to make it your own as well, don't you? Like if you're the first woman on space, you don't want to just kind of parrot what fucking Neil Armstrong said, do you?
I think my chances of being the first woman, the first woman on the moon are pretty slim. Okay. So Catherine, what would you say?
Oh God, I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. I'd probably say some shit like subscribe to Still Got Legs.
You got to plug. You got to grind. Yeah.
I'm always grinding. I'm always plugging. I'm always marketing. Maybe you can say subscribe, follow, or listen to Missing Mystic Falls, a Vampire Diaries Rewatch podcast.
Yeah. It's not in my personal life though.
Separation. Good.
Nice. Lovely stuff. So there's a basically we get to know that there was some a Mexican mining group came up here way back when we find out later 10 years ago, or at least that was when their last message was. Yeah. Okay. They all started. I don't know. That was when shit started going wrong. Essentially, they find their base and it's covered in cobwebs. And at this point, one of the members of the team, important to note, just decides he's going to go off and do something. He's like, I'm going to go scan something or whatever. So one of them has fucked off.
Well, he was sent back. He was sent back to arm the bombs, wasn't he?
Oh, was it to arm the bombs? Okay.
Yeah.
And he didn't really know how to do it.
Yeah. He was like, how do I do that? And she was like, press this button or whatever. So, and then the doctor's like, is that the best you can get? Like, while he was still within earshot as well. I think that's quite rude. He's probably still tapped into the comms at that point, Pretty brutal,
He's walking off like, fucking, I don't even know who you are, mate. Telling me I can't do my job.
Yeah, pretty wild.
This is the part of the episode that I think is like, it is.
Boring.
I can see why it's dull, but like atmospherically, it's kind of tense and kind of interesting. Like, it is that bit. We got a thought wrote in about Sunshine, but like it is that Sunshine scene where they find the Icarus 1 or whatever, and they get to go in, and it's just like, oh, something fucked happened in here. Like, I don't know. Are you both getting those vibes?
I don't remember that at all.
What, in Icarus? That's where they find. That's where they go. It's a big part of the movie Sunshine.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying I don't remember it.
Oh, okay, all right. What do you think?
It was
Catherine?
like 2 years ago that I watched it.
Yeah.
I mean, my issue with the episode is not this bit at all.
Yeah.
This is fine. I forgot all the cobwebby spider stuff, so I was like, oh yeah, that's a thing. I think it's tense. I like that they have just like shitty astronauts. It makes me think of Armageddon, where they have to send oil riggers up into space.
That's great, yeah.
The only thing I know about that movie is that there's a Ben Affleck commentary where he's just fucking swearing the whole time. Yeah.
Have you not seen Armageddon?
No, I've never seen it.
Mr. Movies himself? You've not seen Armageddon?
It's not uncommon. Man. There's many, many movies I have not seen.
Yeah, but you're self-proclaimed Mr. Movies.
No, so. I'm what you call Mr. Movies.
I mean, Catherine was the first one to give you that name.
Were you, Catherine? What the hell?
I think that was just between us, Nick.
Oh, no, sorry.
Oh, great. Good stuff.
Spilling secrets.
So, yeah, I like the quality of the shitty astronauts as well. Like the shitty shuttle that's obviously designed to be a one-way trip. Because
I think she says second-hand shuttle, third-hand astronauts, I believe. Yeah. How does that work? How do third-hand astronauts work?
Yeah. I also feel like surely they'd have more options because they're quite old. Some of
Yeah.
the two guys,
I think they're all quite old. Even the woman herself
Yeah.
is quite old as
but
well.
she seems competent.
She does, yeah. She seems like she actually knows what she's doing. But yeah, the other two blokes, they're cannon fodder. They're like they're here to die. We know that, you know? They're here to be killed.
Yeah. I watched
Good
the
on
episode an hour ago. I could not tell you a distinguishable feature about either of them, other than
Grey
they both
hair.
die by alien or whatever.
Grey hair.
Great. One of them does have grey hair, so I guess I can name one thing.
Maybe they both have grey hair. Who knows?
Well, I don't know. You only get one thing. But I do like that though. Like they're saying, you know, even the other shuttle. Why did no one come up and check it out sooner? And they're like, well, we had one shuttle, and then we cut out the back of it so kids could play astronaut in a museum. Like it's not much, but I appreciate like a little level of like where Earth's at. Like just zero interest in space travel. They just have not put money into it whatsoever. So Earth's kind of isolated in a weird way, which is fun.
That's deeply upsetting to me. Like the most upsetting thing to me is that like we lost interest in like the space race and stuff, and it ended and stuff. Like we should be just as invested and interested in the space race as we was like in the 60s and everything like that, because it's, I don't know, it's so interesting. And I'm largely basing this off that show where Joel Kinnaman's on the moon, okay? and everything's more futuristic because they never stopped the space race. But like, I don't know, I just think life would be more interesting if we never lost that fascination, that wonder, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Space travel. Space travel has like improved all our lives. If you ever look at the list of technologies that's come from like the space race in particular, it's like batteries, artificial limbs, weather mapping, GPS. Wow. Like the whole world is better because we went to space.
Yeah, exactly. It's a shame that we kind of just stopped trying. I mean, they're still doing it, but it's not the same. It's not like it's not getting the funding that it fucking did like in that day, and it's not getting the same sort of fascination really, which is a big shame.
Yeah.
There we go.
Sad times. Sad times all round for Earth.
Very sad.
So what's going on? I would tell you what, there is a dead guy who Courtney bumps into, and she's like, "Oh fuck, a dead guy."
Yeah. So right, if you're like strolling along the moon, as I'm sure we often are, and you come across like this abandoned fucking little station, and it's covered in cobwebs, and then you see a dead guy, surely you're not gonna be like, "Oh, let's go have a look." I reckon, you know, like this is horror movie fucking 101, isn't it? You know, like why would you go in there? I guess they have to, but still, you know.
Well, the Doctor's never been one to shy away from this stuff, but like.
I know, but like cobwebs, that just immediately implies giant spiders. Yeah. I don't want to deal with giant spiders. I don't want to deal with spiders.
Let alone creepy moon alien ones. Yeah,
exactly.
Oh, look, I don't want to criticize Clara because I understand.
Oh, no.
But I do think it was very insane for her to take a student on an adventure with the Doctor, knowing that it can go wrong so quick.
Yeah.
Courtney finds a dead body. That is traumatizing.
Yeah, that's fair. To be fair, Clara also took like the kids she was looking after, the bad actor kids, to the moon or whatever.
Oh, she did.
And she loves taking kids to the moon.
Yeah, what is that?
and they ended up getting like chased by Cybermen or whatever. So
yeah. She's not got a great track record, which is crazy because the show keeps positioning her as like a symbol of authority to children. But hey-ho.
Well, she's a teacher, you know, like, and she is looking. I'm sorry, I'm just being defensive. Okay. I mean, she's fine. All right.
In terms of like parents not being notified of school trips, I'd say the moon is a bit outrageous. I'd have some words.
Yeah, but Corny's parents, they don't care. Like,
that's true. We did meet them last week. And they're shit up. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway,
so they don't deserve to know. We took Courtney to the moon. You should have been watching.
You're going to be a dad. Do you not want to let your kid go to the moon?
If we had the opportunity, no, actually saying that, well, if we had the opportunity to go to the moon like this in the TARDIS, I could stick my head out and go sick, right? You know, pick baby up, put them on the moon, and then go right. I'm done now. We can leave.
Yeah,
I'd do that. But am I getting in a rocket or whatever?
But they weren't intending to get on a rocket, though. This is a thing. You can, with all intentions, say, yeah, we'll just pop up for a quick visit, as is what often happens in Doctor Who. It's once you get there that shit hits the fan. You know?
But I'd simply strike up a bargain with the Doctor beforehand that would essentially be like, look, we can land, and even if there's fascinating stuff there that you want to investigate, just drop us home quickly. You'll be back in 5 minutes, if that. So, get there. If it's great, lovely. We'll spend an hour on the moon. Good stuff. If there's problems, take us home immediately, and then you can come back to the moon and you can do whatever you want to do.
He's not going to do that, mate.
Well, then I'd have to draw a line, wouldn't I? As a parent, I'd have to go, no. I'm sorry, you can't go to the moon.
You can't be the first baby on the moon.
Yes. Right. So I tell you what though, for all of our Clara mocking, there is quite a nice sweet moment where Clara does pull Courtney aside, and I quite like this. I know that people have their comments to make about Courtney, right? But I do quite like this thing that, like, last week we saw her with such a bravado, such a like I'm King Cunt of the school essentially, and this week you see her, she's just a scared child. Like the kind of the way that she, like, her voice quivers back to Clara saying I'm fine. Like, it's a nice moment that endears me to her because she's a child and this is terrifying. So that's fun, and I thought that was quite nice.
Yeah, I agree. I remembered Courtney being quite annoying, and she's really not. She's look, okay, she takes a side this episode, but she's a kid and she's in a crazy situation. And the actress, I had no complaints about this episode.
Yeah.
Who amongst us at 15 didn't have some, like, dumb opinions on shit? You know?
Exactly.
Like, fucking hell. If I was 15 and all my fucking ideas and thoughts on things were out there, I'd be cancelled immediately, man. No, look, I actually quite like Courtney. I'm endeared to Courtney.
Yeah.
I have a soft spot for like I guess angry and troubled kids, okay? Because there's often a reason they're angry. There's often a reason that they're troubled and causing, like, a fuss and everything. Not a fuss is, like, not the right word, but, like,
Courtney, stop causing a fuss.
You know, like, getting into trouble at school and stuff, and all. Like, there's a reason why kids are like that usually, and it's often like there's bad shit happening at home or something like that, you know. And I have quite a soft spot for them for that reason. And I think Courtney's quite a good character. Like, her wanting, you know, just wanting that validation from the doctor, like, immediately, like, meeting this man who's, like, a little bit grumpy and a little bit weird and also a little bit interesting and fascinating, and just kind of, like, you know, we said it last week, he is, like, immediately the only one who meets her on her level.
Yes,
you know, he treats her like a person rather than just another, like, bad teenager or something. And like, clearly she's responded to that. She, like, immediately wants that validation from him. And I think it's interesting, and I do like her as a character. I think she's quite good.
Yeah,
really.
I was quite surprised to see the amount of people write in this week, and, like, just I'd heard of Courtney. Like, how many people have got, like, oh my God, why is Courtney in this episode? I'm like, I don't think she's ever, like, she's back. Like, the episode, yes, Catherine, you're right. She's put in a situation later on where you're like, look, maybe not a great opinion, and that's a 15-year-old's opinion, whatever, it's fine. But, like, I also think it's contextual to the episode. The episode has such a suit of armor on it that goes like, all right, but in the context of the episode, it could make sense. And I'm like, yeah, but you're not. You wrote it, like, you don't get to. Oh, anyway, we'll get to it. We'll get to that moment. So yeah, the moon starts doing a big crack, and that bloke who was doing the bombs or something, he's thrown about or something, and the spider gets him. Or is that now?
I don't know, mate. You sound really confident.
Fuck it, it's now. All right.
Okay.
No, it is now. It is now. I remember because he goes over to the little cove and he shines his torch in it, and then the big spider jumps out.
What do you think of the spider? What do you think of the moon?
The look of it overall?
Yeah.
It's not great, but it's better than it's been. It's better than Quarry in Wales.
I mean, it is Quarry in Wales.
I don't think it is a Quarry in Wales.
What do you think it is?
I don't know. I feel like it's a bit more of a set situation. I don't think it's
just a quarry.
I don't think it is because the ground is cracking and stuff. Like, I feel like they would have had to have built stuff for this. And we've seen Quarry in Wales. It doesn't look that lazy.
Yeah, but this is Quarry in Wales at night, and, like, with some effects in the sky and thing.
Yeah, but I think the amount that the floor is splitting underneath them and stuff, and there's parts where, like, it does become more of like a, you'd have to like skate about a little bit to get up and down those levels. Like I think it's because they wouldn't have had that control on just the quarry in Wales.
What do you think of the look of it, Catherine?
I think I didn't like it, but I couldn't really put my finger on why. I think something just looks a bit off about it. I don't know if it was like, I think maybe it was the sky was really, really black, and then the non-quarry was really, really grey, which like it would look like. I don't know. It looked a bit off to me.
There's a sense of like artificialness to it, I think. It looks a bit rubbery to me, which is why I'm so insistent to say that I don't think it is a quarry in Wales.
I just looked it up, and filming for Kill the Moon primarily took place in Lanzarote, the Canary Islands, and Spain.
What the fuck?
Not really getting that vibe at all, really. Maybe at the end when they're on that beach, maybe, but like.
So if they use like that's blown my mind. I don't understand how that's because there's no part of this that like you wouldn't think, oh, Lanzarote, 1-to-1 counterpart with a moon.
So the location is Timanfaya National Park. I'm probably mispronouncing that, in Lanzarote, Spain. And apparently it's on something called Raven's Volcano is where it was shot. I guess a volcano kind of makes sense. Let me look up Raven's Volcano if this is the right sort of vibe.
Moon.
This is look up Raven's Volcano. You'll get the vibe. Yeah. That makes sense, I think. So it's not a quarry in Wales, it's a volcano in Spain, okay? We've definitely upgraded, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, I'm seeing it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, I like that they've put all this effort in. We'll go to Lanzarote. We'll really push the boat out for this one. This episode of Doctor Who, we'll push it further than we've ever gone before. And we're still here like, all right, it might not have been a quarry, but it doesn't look fantastic either, does it?
But it
I think it does.
Yeah. You know? They should have shot it on the moon. Really?
What the spiders? What were we saying about the spiders a minute ago?
I mean, they look fine. Whatever, you know.
They're like face huggery. They're like alien-y. I like them.
They're not face huggery.
They jump on people's faces. They're face huggers.
Yeah. Okay. All right. But like in terms of design, they look nothing like face huggers.
I think the way they're scuttling about is
okay,
face
but
huggery.
again, in terms of design, though, they look nothing like face huggers.
Well, the face huggers have got their little tentacle arm thingies.
Face huggers are not like spiders, though. They don't look like that.
I think they're spidery.
No, not really.
I didn't. They do hug faces.
Yeah.
But I don't think they look like the aliens. I can't lie.
All right, fine. I will concede.
As you should. It's stupid.
Well, all right. What do you think of the actual design then? Because I quite like it. The little kind of red bits to them. They look a bit spooky.
They look fine, I guess. I don't know. It's just a CGI monster, though, isn't it? It's quite. It's a little unimpressive, really. I mean, not unimpressive. It's just a little, like. I'm just like.
Well, they were all right. I liked that they could like. I liked when they were like going along the wall attacking. I liked that they could like hide. I don't know. I think they were fine. I think the episode needed a little something before the big debate. We need a little action.
Yes. Yeah.
Of the spiders attacking.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, it does, but it also can't then be too exciting because then it takes away from the debate that we will get to. So it's a little bland, really, because it is just a bunch of like big spiders, and like that's like scary. Spiders are inherently scary and spooky and stuff, but like, where's the Doctor Who fun to that? You know, where's the alien twist or whatever? You know? Yeah,
I do see what you're saying. I guess like they're just kind of they're there. I like how they look, but I do see what you're saying, and they're kind of unremarkable. They're just a quick threat before
like
we get to the stuff.
Spider people, like a big spider lady who Lance wants to have sex with or whatever. Like
nice.
That would be interesting. That's great. That I'd be on board with, you know. But they're just little spiders, so like, what's the point?
How they've set them up, they can't be that exciting because they say they're single-celled organisms, so they have to be basic.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah,
I don't like it though. So
I do like the scene where they're all having to like they're tracking movement, so everyone's kind of got to stay stationary, and then like everything starts going wrong to make that kind of impossible. I do think that's as far as the episode goes, like this is kind of action-wise, in the meat of what this episode's trying to do, this is the most interesting part of it to me, because I'm like, oh, there's actually some stakes. You know, there's the whole Courtney gets stuck behind the door. That's interesting for a second there. I like all of that.
Yeah. Courtney gets trapped. She kills a spider with the little, like, fucking, like, silly bang or whatever it is. You know,
What's going on with this?
her little, like, fucking Mr. Muscle or whatever she's got, you know?
Look,
So that's pretty good.
We'll discuss, not to show my hand too early, but, like, what's going on there? What's happening there?
Okay. Well, I know what that means. All right.
No, I know you do. But
by saying not to show my hand too early, you have entirely just shown your hand. Okay.
Oh, Catherine.
You're fine. Don't worry.
Okay.
You don't have to. Or piggyback on one of our bad ones or something.
Yeah, you're absolutely fine. Don't worry. Yeah, look, I think, I don't know. That's fine, I think. Why is that inherently, I won't say the word, but why is it that? You know?
No, because well, we'll get to it, won't we, I suppose?
Okay, I guess. Yeah,
we need to
won't
pad
talk
that
about that
section out,
now. Yeah, we can't talk about that now. We'll have to talk about that later for some reason that we
We'll
put
pad
up
it
on
out
ourselves.
for no reason. The people's host has arrived unprepared without a weirdo, Nathan. So we'll have to make some conversation.
I'll have one.
There we go.
But yeah, no, I quite like this, right? Courtney. Well, there's that fun thing of that woman saying to the doctor, "Who made you the boss?" And the doctor's like, "Well, you say run then. I don't fucking. You want to die? Why does this matter?"
I love Capaldi. Like like every little scene he was having where he was getting his little quips in, I was like, he's so fucking good.
Yeah.
And I regret that I didn't love him as much at the time.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, actually, yeah. What is your relationship with the 12th Doctor?
Well, I just kind of like went off the show. I don't really think it was to do with him. I think it was like I just stopped watching week to week, and I just kind of fell away. I think actually part of it is I really just didn't like the 7B of Matt Smith, so I think like that more set me off not liking the show as much. And then I just got busy and stopped watching it, and I kind of regret that, particularly for Capaldi's run, because he's so good.
Yeah,
He's so good. Like, he is. Yeah, it's he just nails it every single time. He doesn't phone in a performance. Everything, he just shows up and gives it his fucking all, and it's so unmatched. He's amazing. Yeah, I love him so much.
It's obviously it's a script writing thing, but like just the way he appears so quick witted is so fun. Like, I love how like snappy and sharp he is, and like especially later on in the episodes, like he just has a chance to. He's so fast moving. He's so like that moment's gone. We're moving on. Like, it's just I like that it's so breakneck pace with him. Pretty much everything.
Yeah,
and like how immediately different he feels from Matt Smith.
Yeah.
Like they were like kind of fearless in like, we're changing the show. It's so different. He's going to be a completely different Doctor than like the nice, happy Matt Smith Doctor. And I think that was a really great choice that I didn't appreciate at the time.
Yeah, that's fair. But we were all young and dumb, all right? We all made young, dumb choices. Okay.
That's the exact experience I had. This was like around the time I was like, well, I'd already kind of fallen off the show at this point, kind of back end of Matt Smith, but I never got to experience Capaldi in his heyday. And like when I did, I went back into it with this almost like fucking stupid attitude of like, well, Doctor Who, like, oh, let's see what you got now. Like, which is, yeah, dumb.
Look at you now.
Yeah, this is a week-to-week humbling.
And I've never had to be humbled, all right? I was there. I was in the trenches all the way throughout, okay? I was fighting the good fight.
I think the closest you've gotten to being humbled on the show is the run of 7B. Like, because week on week, it was just hard to deny that this is just a real run of stinkers going on.
Look, there were definitely some stinkers in there, all right? It wasn't all shit.
There's diamonds in the rough, but they're few and far between, I think.
Yeah. It was a lot of shit, though.
Yeah.
I will give you that. Yeah.
Anyway, don't give me flashbacks to 7B. We're out of the dark ages now. We're okay.
Into the light of Kill the Moon.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So Courtney gets out of the situation. The Doctor tries to yo-yo her through a window, but she's already anti-backed the thing to death. And she wants to go home. And I quite like this. This is a sweet moment. It does lead us on to the conversation of the Doctor and Clara having that moment where Clara has to take some responsibility. Like, I have a duty of care against this girl. Like, and look, maybe the alarm bell should have started ringing a bit before this because they're on the moon, like we spoke about.
Yeah, but like they didn't know this was the situation.
No, but this is always the situation.
Yeah.
Oh,
By the way, to cut that away immediately, the moon is the situation here. Like, that's problem enough, I think.
No, the moon is never a situation. When is the moon ever a problem?
If I
When it's an
texted
egg.
you and said I've just spent 2 hours on the moon,
I'd be like, that's sick. That's cool. I'd love to go to the moon. All right. Yes. Okay. Catherine's right. It is an egg. All right. But we don't know that at this point. All right.
they never know, but they know there's something. They always know there's something going to happen.
The moon is cool, and I think it's right for Clara to take school children there, frankly.
Like,
We're answering the question of why Nathan wasn't a teacher.
Yeah. I just want to hold you to the double standard of I'm not allowed to buy white lightning for kids, but you can kidnap them and take them to the moon, by the way.
Okay, first of all, I never said kidnap, all right? I don't know how you've got this scenario. I'm not kidnapping children and taking them to the moon.
I needed it to be worse. I needed to make it worse.
Yeah, I know you did.
The Doctor thinks Courtney's 35. Good little joke. I like this. This is such a stupid recurring joke, but I like it.
Yeah, it's pretty good. How old are you? 35? I'm 15.
How old does he think Clara is?
Well, he often says, that she looks older than she is. So,
this is the part they take Courtney back to the TARDIS. The Doctor sends her in to wait essentially for them, and she wants some. She's like, "You got any games? Or like, can I text people from here? What's going on?" And the Doctor just kind of shuts her in. The conversation over for Courtney.
Yeah, he literally just says, "Get in," and then closes the door on her. That's good stuff.
What's happening next? What's going on now?
I just want to say, this is where we learn how much weight the moon's put on. And it says it's 1.3 billion tons. And straight away I was like, that seems very small.
Oh, okay.
If you think about, like, I've done the numbers, guys.
Yes, amazing.
If you will allow me
Please.
this moment
Please.
to go through my little math. So the moon weighs 73.5 trillion billion tons.
Oh my God.
So
okay.
Fuck me.
The percentage difference that it's put on is 0.000018%.
Okay.
So that's nothing.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't make any difference. And this is what I mean when I was like, hey, look, it's fine. And if it was a better episode, I wouldn't care. But it's easily Googleable because I calculated the gravity on the moon. That's only 0.0615% increases. So they're walking around like it's normal when the gravity on the moon should still be floating around like moony.
Right.
You would expect. The effect on the tides is 1.77 times 10 to the minus 9. So that's like 0 followed by 9 zeros.
Oh,
so
shit.
the tides are doing fuck all.
Yeah. No noticeable change then to the tides.
No noticeable change to be felt. It's barely put on anyway. Think about if you put on that amount different weight. It'd be imperceptible.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, why are we picking a low number?
See, that's interesting because I initially, I'm no scientist, I'm no mathematician, I'm not a smart man, okay? When I heard 1.83 billion tons or whatever, I was like, see, that seems like too much, okay? But I think what I was going for, I was operating under the assumption that logically thinking about this, if the gravity is so much so that it's like imperceptible to Earth's gravity, if it's the exact same, then would not the moon have to put on an amount of weight that would make it then equal to Earth? Would that not be the case?
No, so the
okay, I'm done.
basically everything.
Smarter than me, I'm just sat here.
Basically, all the calculations are really easy because it's directly proportional. So essentially, like if the moon doubles in weight, the gravity that it exists on the Earth would double. If the gravity that the moon feels would double, and the effect on the tides would double. So it's really easy. So if it puts on like a tiny bit, the effect is a tiny bit.
Okay.
In fact, it's a tiny bit. That's what we're trying to tell you, Nathan.
Lawrence, shut up.
By the way, Catherine, you've reclaimed your role as the people's host. Catherine has a notebook, by the way, with these calculations. It's more effort than Nathan and I have put in combined.
I have never written anything down physically for this podcast.
At least you had a question. I watched this part of the episode and went, sure. I just did not flash any alarm bells for me whatsoever. I went, all right, number, cool.
Again, in a better episode, I wouldn't care, but it's nonsense.
But I think that's why they write it, because Lawrence is the everyman. Okay?
Yes,
Lawrence is the majority of people watching this show. Okay, not like us scientific minds.
I don't know.
Okay. Not as curious people who question things.
You had me and then you lost me. What's going on now? Where are we at? Is shorthand for I've lost my notes. Hang on.
So, yes, the Doctor has taken Courtney. She's back in the TARDIS now. And then Clara is basically saying, well, the moon doesn't break up, because I know the moon. I've seen the moon and stuff. We've been to the future. We know the moon. If the moon just broke up, people would have mentioned that, And I feel like, look, I don't like talking bad about Clara, but you know how time travel works by now, surely.
Yeah,
yeah.
It was a weird scene because it's we're 8 seasons in at this point, and that's just New Who. We get this. This shit's in flux. This is hand wave. We know that this isn't always the case. Shit can be changed, and stuff is happening on a whim and changing all the time.
Clara's not 8 seasons in. All right, so watch your mouth first of all. All right, but.
But she's not 8 seasons in, but she's been about. She knows the lay of the land with time travel by now.
She's half a season in, all right. Well, she's about a full season in.
Yes,
all right,
yeah.
About so.
I like the idea that the moon is such a core concept to the world that's where you hit a wall. You're like, but we have a moon. I can accept everything else, but we have a moon.
But yeah, the Doctor says that there are some moments in time that he simply cannot see. Little eye blinks, they don't look the same as other things. They're fuzzy, they're grey, little moments in which big things are decided, and that this is one of them. So yeah, pretty fun.
Yeah, I like that. I like the... Well, we don't necessarily know how true that is, because later on it's a what was known, what wasn't kind of situation. But anyway, we'll discuss that later. The space lady is like, I got nuclear bombs. You're both going to stay. You're going to help me blow up the moon or something. Which the Doctor kind of immediately takes umbrage with.
He what?
He has an issue with it, doesn't he? Blowing up the moon. He's like, oh, hang on a minute. Let's not blow up the moon.
Maybe. I don't know. I can't really remember, to be honest.
So they try to figure out at this point what is killing the moon, right? They come across the other Mexican mining team, right? And a facehugger pounces on the Doctor. I wrote down facehugger. I understand we've had this conversation, but okay. I wrote down facehugger.
Not a facehugger, but okay.
I like this. They shine a torch down, and there's like a swarm of them. There's loads of them getting about.
Don't like that. Upsetting. Deeply upsetting.
Oh, you couldn't get on board with this situation, or
no. Yeah. I don't like creepy crawly things, spiders. It's not for me.
How big does the spider need to be for you to go, I'm not killing that, I'm just going to move house?
Pretty big.
Okay.
Like a little spider I can deal with, I think. But I'll never forget when I lived in Wales, I remember I encountered a spider that was so fucking big in my house that I could hear it walking across the floor.
Oh my God.
No.
Yes, I could hear it. Thank you. I could hear it scuttling about. And that has deeply upset me to this day. And
was it hairy and shit?
Probably, yeah.
Oh, I don't like it.
What's going on in Wales?
Yeah. What do you like with spiders, Catherine?
Fine. I'll probably try and throw them out the window rather than kill them. But I'm not too bad with them.
That also kills them, apparently.
Oh yeah, because they're suddenly like, whoa, this is a change.
Yeah.
And then they're like,
let me feel passive.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fair.
Yeah, if you're gonna die, it will be because you're not evolved enough. You got to go and die. At least you're not stamping them on a boot or something. So the Doctor dips his yo-yo into some sort of. There's various creaks of the moon, holes in the moon. I don't know what craters. I guess you'd call them. I don't know. I figured it out. It's craters, right? From Catherine's nod, I've ascertained that that's correct. And he finds that there's not water on it, but instead there's amniotic fluid, which is our first sign that things are going to go sideways very quickly for this episode.
That's gross, isn't it?
First tease.
Yeah. And then
first bit of sizzle.
Yeah. Then he yeets himself off a moon cliff, basically. So I'll see you in a bit.
We get a lovely shout out to the social networking site Tumblr.
We do, yeah.
Which I was so excited by.
As someone who was on Tumblr at the time, I was also very excited by that. That was a good bit of fun.
This is for us.
We feel seen. Yeah.
Does this mean that Clara has Courtney on Tumblr?
No.
Well, where did the pictures come from?
What do you
She
mean?
was checking her Tumblr.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
She pulls out her Tumblr.
Who pulls out her Tumblr?
Clara gets her phone out and is like, Courtney's put pictures of us on the moon on Tumblr.
No, Courtney's on her phone and she says, I'm putting pictures on Tumblr. And she's like, don't put pictures on Tumblr. The phone is Courtney's.
I feel like Clara's checked it, no?
What? How? Why?
I can't remember.
You think Clara's just pulled her phone out on the moon?
Maybe.
No. No, you're just wrong. That doesn't happen. Courtney's on her phone in the TARDIS.
And she's telling people I'm posting moon pics.
Yeah, I think
yeah.
Nathan's right, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she says it over the radio. I'm putting the pictures on Tumblr. And Clara just says, don't put pictures on Tumblr.
Oh, yes. No, you're both 100% correct. Yeah.
And then I think later, which is what's confusing you, is someone shows the Doctor the pictures?
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, yeah. Because then that's when we see the pictures. Yeah. Or do we see the pictures now?
No, we see the pictures now as well. Yeah.
We
see them on Courtney's phone.
I'm lost. I weren't on Tumblr. I don't get it. I don't understand how it works. That's the issue here.
It works no different than any other social media site. Okay. You just put pictures on there.
We got. I do like the crew woman's nan. She was like, my nan used to post on Tumblr all the time, which is a bit of fun. Yeah.
Good on her.
Yeah. What's happening now? The moon is cratering more. It's like cracking about. And the shuffle goes down, doesn't it? The moon, wherever the shuttle landed with obviously Courtney and the TARDIS inside of it, it falls down a big hole.
Oh yes, it does. Yeah, but she's fine. She's in the TARDIS.
Yeah.
So whatever, you know.
The assembled hordes of Genghis Khan couldn't get through that door, Nathan, and nor could the moon.
Yeah.
So the Doctor's back. He reemerges and he's very excited. He knows what's going on. He's kind of got a bit of more of a spring in his step at this point, which is immediately brought down by him not enjoying the fact that there's now pictures of him on Tumblr that he didn't, what he wasn't a fan of, or he didn't consent to them being posted.
Well, I think you jumped ahead a little bit.
What happens then?
Yeah, because they get to the main sort of room, and Clara's like, yeah, Courtney's in the TARDIS, and the Doctor says, oh yeah, she's there, she'll turn up, she'll be fine, all right. And Clara, look, you two have been harping on her, okay, but she is showing a bit of compassion and care. She is worried about Courtney, okay? Yeah. She's saying that, like, you know, we need to go get her, we need to figure out where she is, we need to make sure she's safe. And Clara and the Doctor's like, well, don't you have a number? Can't you give her a ring or whatever? And Clara says, no, she doesn't have a number. And the Doctor suggests that she calls the school secretary to get it. And Clara just says, I can't. The secretary hates me. She thinks I gave her a pack of tenner lady for Secret Santa. Which I think is probably the best joke in the episode. Really.
I love it.
Is this the same secretary that was like being really horny with Danny?
I'd imagine so. Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely don't call her.
Yeah.
I'm on the moon. Yeah, you're on the moon.
Yeah. I bet you're on the moon. Yeah.
I bet you are.
Yeah.
What's her fucking damage, man? Maybe that's why. Maybe it was recently after Christmas and she was like, I got this fucking tenner lady, you know, from Clara. Outrageous.
I'm going to stick it on Danny. I've seen that she's got the eyes for Danny.
It's a weird, all right.
So, the doctor does a little sonic projection of the moon. He's like, it's not infested. The face hugger thing's a bacteria. There's something big growing inside the moon. The moon's hatching. The moon's an egg. So...
The people screamed.
Yeah. And then it's a big debate.
I do love the way Peter Capaldi says the moon is an egg. There's something just very deeply satisfying about that. All right, we'll talk about how stupid it is in a minute. Okay.
Yes, sure.
But like there's something about his like just barely contained excitement about that, which is quite fun. I enjoy it quite a lot. I just think it's a good performance, really.
It is, yeah. I think the episode does position him in a place where, like, this. It's nice to see this grumpy doctor still have like wonder for the universe. Like, you know, like and again, I need to preface everything by saying we'll talk about it, but like, it is nice to see the doctor being like, this is incredible. This is so interesting and weird and lovely, and the universe is crazy and interesting. But yeah, I did. Is there a bit where it went by a bit quick for me? Maybe I got it wrong, right? But is there a bit where Courtney tries to be like, essentially, what came first, the chicken or the egg? And the doctor's like, shut up, not important.
No, she asks if it is a chicken.
Oh, right, okay.
She asks if it is a chicken, and then she says, because for a chicken to have laid an egg that big, you know, and then she gets cut off.
It's a fun way of the writer being like, we're not doing this. We're not doing this. Where was the mother moon?
They do kind of do it in the episode though.
They do, yeah. So yeah, I guess let's discuss. As the show does.
Straight away, it's so immediate. Like how, right? This whole thing. I don't care what the writer says. This whole thing is the abortion debate. And it's so instantly, like straight away, the female astronaut is like treated like a villain for wanting to kill the moon. Yeah. They say it's a baby.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah.
The vibe shift is instantaneous. It's like the doctor's like, this is wonderful. And then the astronaut's like, let's nuke it. And it's like, oh yeah, I cannot for 1 second believe that the writer was like, this is news to me.
100 nuclear bombs set off right here on top of a living, vulnerable creature. It will never feel the sun on its back, the doctor says. Which, yeah, sure, is true. But, like, if it's destroying the Earth, then see you later, brother. You know?
Yeah. This is the thing. The setup is intrinsically an anti-abortion setup, and I actually think maybe the writer just didn't think his analogy through, because I think he knew what he was doing, but he just didn't understand the debate well enough. Because having a question of should we kill one life to save everyone else? They've done that in Doctor Who numerous times. It's a really common trope, and it's an interesting thing to explore. But the very setup in this episode is that the egg is more virtuous and more worthy of saving by the very fact it is not alive.
Yes.
So, and that is a pro-life sentiment. It's always the same thing. Like, what if the child you abort grew up to cure cancer? Yeah. It's that idea of because it is unborn, it never will feel the sun, and that is a cost of more than all the other people that could die. So the very setup of the episode is distinctly pro-life without even weighing into like where they fall at the end.
Yes. Yeah. I think that's bang on. And I also think there's sort of this ham-fisted attempt at being like, because I don't know, should we talk about the whole thing, or should we go through it like Doctor Who plot by plot? How do we want to talk about this?
What do you mean plot by plot?
Because I want to bring up that the Doctor does leave, and that's obviously quite a pivotal plot point.
Okay, yeah, we can talk about that.
Yeah, and I just think that like in doing that, there's almost this ham-fisted attempt at being like, it's a woman's right to choose. But the initial premise and setup of the episode puts them in a scenario where whatever choice they make is morally dubious at best, and that's within the context of the episode. And it's just a bit of a gross metaphor, really. Let's
just quickly get there. Okay. So Courtney says that she wants to come back and join this debate. Okay, so sure, good for her.
Yeah.
The doctor says there's some DVDs on the bookshelf. Just put one into the console. That'll bring you here. Fun little callback to Blink. I like that. He even tells, make sure you hang on to the console, otherwise the TARDIS will leave you behind.
I had never even put it together. That's well fun.
That's good.
Yeah. So Courtney comes back, and then as soon as she does, he's like, right, I'm fucking off. See you later. This is nothing to do with me. The Earth isn't my home. It's yours. It's your moon. So I'm off. Womankind, you need to make this decision, he says.
Womankind, it's your choice.
Yes,
And
that's what he says.
You're telling me he didn't know?
There's no way. There's no way.
I'll read the thought
deliberately
out later.
make it. Yeah, they deliberately make it 3 women. They deliberately kill the other 2 male astronauts. Like, they fucking knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
I also hate that they're like, the astronaut is like a child-free bitch. They're like, oh, she doesn't get it because she doesn't have kids.
Yeah. Like that's an inherently, like, you don't get a say. Like
a horrible, uncaring woman because she doesn't have kids.
Yeah.
You know, she's so jaded and cruel because of that.
You wouldn't get it. You're not a full woman like the rest of us having this conversation. Yeah, it's gross. It's slimy. There is a thought later on that I will read out as to give proper credit. But they brought up the fact that, like, if it's not about this, what's it about? Like, what point were you trying to get across? Because, like, whatever way you cut it's not great. Like, either you wrote a really boring, uninteresting episode of Doctor Who about nothing, or you wrote something that's, like, very dated and telling to where your personal stance lies on the conversation.
The Doctor also says, like, trying to, like, get Clara to understand why he can't, like, be a part of this. He also says, like, we went to dinner in Berlin in 1937, okay, but we didn't pop out and kill Hitler. I've never killed Hitler. And I'm like, but there was an episode centered around that, so it feels very strange to bring up that point specifically.
It is, right?
You know? Called Let's Kill Hitler. I know that wasn't the Doctor's mindset, but still. Like.
Yeah, it seems very strange to reference that specific thing.
Yeah,
like,
an example we've had.
You're making, but, like, why that one, you know?
Yeah, it's
Anyway.
strange. I just think that, like, I also think as the Doctor, right, as a character, as children's hero, the Doctor, is kind of almost, I hesitate to use the word irresponsible, but it's almost this kind of, like, this mishandling of the Doctor that, like, I get that the 12th Doctor's the one most likely to be like, you're cool, I'm backing out. And that in itself, you could maybe say there's some redeeming aspect that he removes himself from the situation. But it's all, again, they've been set up to fail. Everyone in this episode has been set up to make a choice that there is no morally or ethical answer to, and because the context of the episode, it positions them all in a scenario where it's like, well, you fucked it either way. It's a bit mishandled.
Believe me, we will come back to whether or not the Doctor was right or wrong for this. Okay,
Interesting. What, in the show, or you ever take?
In this literal fucking episode, you can't
remember
the last scene.
Okay. I thought you were sizzling for something in the future.
No, for this exact episode.
No, we will come back to that.
See, I think the Doctor abandoning Clara, I think that could be a really interesting thing to explore if it was a better setup, because it feels cruel and callous in the moment. You know what I mean? Like, you do feel for Clara when he just leaves her to make this decision that she's, like, feels so unequipped to make. So I do like the feeling of him leaving in the episode.
Yeah.
And he does just leave as well. He, like, literally just gets in the TARDIS and fucks off, you know? Like, there's no... Clara can't go anywhere. She's got Courtney, you know? She's stranded on the moon. And she might also have to kill herself as well. So that's, that's pretty intense. That's a pretty intense decision to be left with, you know?
This is kind of what I mean about irresponsible as well, because it puts people in that mindset of, like, yeah, that sometimes women have to make a horrible choice, right? Like, and that's, like, the circumstances are obviously specific and everything else, but, like, putting Clara in that position where the choice is essentially between an innocent life or a fucking a bunch of people or whatever, and herself included within that, essentially sacrificing herself or whatever, right? It's just it's a nasty position to put someone in, but it's also a nasty thing to kind of put the audience through as well. Like, it's very one-track minded of, like, Clara's the hero and she'll save the day, but, like, that's not a win. No part, like, you can see from Clara's reaction later on, there's no part of that is a win. It's just, you made me know something about myself that maybe I, like, didn't want to know, or, like, I don't know. I'm trying to articulate it the best way I can, because I think I've said this so many times, but the episode provides context that makes you go like, you can see in the episode how maybe there is something right or wrong or whatever, but that's not what this episode's about. The metaphor is the bigger question, and it's so unfairly handled.
Yeah, and it like obviously it's not a perfect analogy.
No.
Like the whole idea of body autonomy is like removed from the debate, and also the reason they want to destroy the moon is because they just don't know what would happen.
Yeah.
So it's this whole idea of it's an unknown, whereas like normally if you're like making this decisions, particularly in this day and age, we have like a lot of information, like about like what is maybe wrong with the fetus. So it's like it's not like a like for like analogy, but the ways it lines up are troubling.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah.
Are you? I'm interested. I was really interested to talk about this episode with you specifically, Lawrence, mostly because you are now, because you're having a kid, and I'm wondering if that has swayed your influence in any way. Is that like, as a father to be, are you? Are you watching this like, they shouldn't kill that moon. They should.
No, that's so narrow-minded and one track and
okay.
Selfish and inherently wrong, to be honest. I think like there's so many factors to take into account. There's health concerns, there's time at life, circumstances, financial or otherwise. Like there's so many things to consider that like I'd go as far as to say like having a position at all outside of your own circumstances is just like, who are you? Like what's it got to fucking do with you? Like no, I think there's like obviously I'm in a position where like I'm like this is planned. I'm excited. So like this is something that's like interesting, but again, if it maybe I don't want to be this personal on it, but like we'll see. I'm going to hold some stuff back. But basically, right, no, you don't get a say. Like it's your own choice, right? In the sense that like I think it's a woman's right to choose, but also I think there's a conversation to be had, obviously. Naturally, I think normal people talk to one another about things. But then outside of your specific circumstances, anything that doesn't directly affect you, your partner, is noise. It's just noise. It's nonsense. And it's essentially people just posturing and grandstanding on positions that they feel they've made the right choice in and therefore feel more morally righteous than other people. Like it's ugly. It's an ugly conversation to have. And I think so many people have a say that really shouldn't, basically.
So what you're saying is you're pro-life?
Yeah, I think that's what I was coming across. Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Also, this is what I mean where it's like, it's not a like for like one because, pregnancy is very difficult, but if you want to go through it, the idea is at the end you get a lovely baby. They don't get a baby in this. They don't know what they're getting.
They get a little alien or a big alien.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely hurt by that. That like, I don't know. There's no consequences for decisions at all. Like no one's. I don't know. It's dumb. It really skirts its way out of trouble by being like, well, it's not a one-to-one metaphor. You can't connect every single dot. So I guess like there's wiggle room to consider whether things are right or wrong. And it's like, no, dude, just don't bring it up. Like written by a bloke. This is such a stupid fucking episode. Someone should have had the foresight to go, maybe not. Or let's get a woman's perspective on it and maybe make something that like, at best, this episode can be horrendously vague.
But then you'd have to get a woman to write an episode of Doctor Who, Lawrence. Okay?
Well, yeah, that's the first trouble, isn't it?
First of all, let's be logical here, okay?
I didn't realize we'd have to do this.
Yeah, had they had a female writer yet at this point? I don't think we've had one yet.
I seem to recall.
I don't think there's been one yet. I genuinely think it's series 11 until the first female writer of Doctor Who comes in.
I don't know why. In my brain, I remember us having this conversation way back when we started the podcast in like an early episode, and I think we worked it out. And it definitely takes until Capaldi's era for them to hire a woman.
It's
that is awful.
It's fucking criminal, isn't it? It's genuinely horrendous.
there's been female directors. There's been women who have directed Doctor Who, but it might even be after Capaldi. It might even be
no way.
Jodie.
That would imply that they were like, right, female Doctor, let's get a female writer in now. That's awful. Oh Lord.
Yeah. There was definitely an effort in the Chibnall era to diversify the writing team. I was just going to bring up the
That's fucking insane.
Oh yeah, sorry, it is. Yes, series 9, episode 6 is the first female writer. Yeah, Catherine Trebina. Yeah,
that is awful.
And she is the only female writer in that season, but at least she is a female writer. And then the next one,
you can have one per 100, I guess.
Next one is in series 10.
Okay. Yeah.
Sarah Dollard.
Yes, the crumbs. Thank God.
Yes. Is Rona? Is that a lady? Is that a Rona Munro? Rona Munro is woman. Yeah, Scottish writer. So 2 in series 10. So fucking hell, we're pushing out the boat. Okay, and then it is Chibnall era where more women join the writing stuff. So yeah,
that's
not great.
So late in the game. What the hell? Fuck me.
Yeah. But don't worry, they did the abortion story before that.
Yeah. Thank God we got that one in quickly.
Thank God that was for the boys.
All right. So what's happening next? It's just more of this, isn't it?
It's more of this.
There's
Yeah.
lots of chatting about it.
Yeah.
They use this is the other thing is they use a lot of anti-abortion rhetoric throughout the conversation. Clara says you can't blame a baby for kicking. Hand wave all the millions of people that died from the giant tides.
Those ever-rising high tides.
Yeah. I feel like, you're right. That is such like a... This is not a baby kicking. This is so much more than that. If people are dying as a consequence, you can't just be like, oh yeah, but it's a little baby, like that's fine.
There's conversations to be, and like she's the worst thing about it is that the woman is making like really valid points, the way she kind of talks down to Courtney is a little bit condescending, but like still the fact of like grow up a little bit and you'll realize that like when you're older, sometimes shit's just fucking bad. Like that's a great point of view to have. But then everyone around is like, you're wrong. And it's like, no, she's right. She's the only correct one here.
And they have no answer for when she's like, there are babies down on Earth.
Yeah.
They could die.
And they're just actually, you weren't supposed to bring that up, so yeah.
She even says to Clara, now you've probably got children down on Earth, grandchildren probably, and and you want that thing to get out to kill them. And Clara's just like, no answer, no answer for you, Chief.
It's like whenever you see fucking like we've been privy to way too many fucking Republican opinions on this kind of shit, right? Just in general debates and unfortunately seeing a bunch of shit on social media when it pops up. But like every single time without fail, they make the point of like, oh, the life of the baby is sacred. All right, the life of the mother, crickets. Every single fucking time. Because any position they take is giving away their actual true stance on how they value human life. And it's always fucking hypocritical every time. So
just for the record, Democrats are also not great on that kind of stuff.
No,
as well.
I mean the hyper MAGA cunts that are always like inserting themselves. But no one's great, to be honest.
No.
Yeah, and I think that's why it's so easy to get het up about this, because like I know that like I'm sitting here, I live in the UK, this is a British show, like I will always have access to I have access to like the healthcare that I need, but like it's still happening around the world. And I think what's been proven in the US is just because we have a right now doesn't mean that right can't be taken away from us. So I think that's why it's so easy. Like it's so like first of all, it's an emotional topic, nevertheless, but like the language that is being used in this, as you said, Lawrence, is being used to take rights and healthcare away from women specifically. So it's so frustrating to see it in Doctor Who.
Yeah. It's just it's misguided, this whole thing. Like it needed several other fucking heads put together, and preferably women, to be honest. But like, it just needed so many more passes because like I can't even at this point. It's so deplorable in places that you can't even make a case for like, oh, they tried to sit on the fence. Like, no, I feel like this is overtly a fucking like pro-life episode of Doctor Who, and it's just a shame. It's a bit of a stain on the run, to be honest.
I'd be really interested to know what Jenna Coleman's thoughts on this are. Like when she read the scripts and stuff, I'm really interested to know what she was thinking about it, because I don't necessarily think Jenna Coleman would have any kind of like, strong pro-life opinions. Really,
I'm sure she does. It's a very difficult position to be put in as an actor.
Yeah, definitely.
As we said, behind the scenes, the directors. Everyone else bar her seems to be a man, so she's like the like female face of Doctor Who. So I think it's hard. That's a really difficult position for her to be put in.
Yeah,
even Peter Capaldi as well. Like I'd also be interested to know what he thinks about it. Yeah. Again, not being like more men's opinion on this, but like Peter Capaldi is someone who's like actually quite progressive and stuff.
Yeah,
and I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's a shame, and it is one of them unfortunate scenarios because like. The bare bones of it, the show means a great deal to a lot of people, but bare bones of it, for the people that are involved, it's a job. Like, where do you draw the line of being like, I don't want to do that? Because it's quite, like, there's irritating aspects of it that are mishandled, I think, because the Doctor's so gleeful about it as well. And the Doctor's there's a smugness to him, which we'll touch back on a bit later, but, like, I don't know. It leaves a kind of gross taste in your mouth, I think, this whole thing.
I think it does.
Yeah.
So they do what anyone would do and let the people of Earth vote on it, basically. They find a way to basically broadcast to Earth by speaking to like British NASA or whatever. And then they're like, and then that's when the episodes open up with Clara giving that message. Like, people of Earth, we got a terrible decision to make. Is the way they get people to vote incredibly fucking stupid, or is that just me?
Yeah.
It's so dumb. Think of a better way, surely.
There's so many issues with it. Fundamentally, the Earth is round. Sorry to you flat earthers out there. You'll only be able to see one side of the Earth at a time.
The fact that that's issue 1 of so many as well.
Part of the Earth will be in the daylight, so the sun is brighter than any lights they could.
Yeah.
So it's not the greatest
sat there with their phone torches pointed at the sun like this will make an impact, I reckon. Also, I think it also implies that, like, again, I think someone else wrote in about this as well, but like it implies that like countries like without electricity or access to electricity, fuck you. You don't get a say. Like,
yeah,
absolutely, yeah.
Yucky. But then it also like suggests that like, I don't know, like whole governments and whatever are making decisions for the citizens, I guess, because like you turning on your light in your bedroom, all right, they can just turn off the entire power to the city.
That's
you
so
know?
true, yeah.
So like, and like we see how the Earth looks, it's pretty much gone into total fucking blackout. Yeah. So like, it's a pretty unanimous decision that's made, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, pretty fucking stupid.
Least, anyway.
Pretty stupid. Oh yeah, on one half.
So that's 4 painfully obvious problems with this. Look, I get it. They're under pressure. They didn't have a lot of time to figure out how to get this vote out, I guess. But
surely she could have said to like British NASA, like set up a poll on a website or something, you know, like, and just tell us there is. I guess that's not as cinematic, you know, but like fucking hell.
It's also the same. There's the same issue of like electricity and like also not to point out. All right,
but like we have half an hour. We have half an hour, Lawrence. Okay, we can't make this as inclusive as possible in half an hour. Okay?
No, they need to. They need to.
That one friend that's too woke over here. All right?
I'm not going to apologize. I'm trying to get everyone involved. All right?
Well, he believes in democracy.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Wow, Nathan.
Not me. I think there's more pressing issues at hand. All right, when you have half an hour. Okay.
So they all vote to blow up the moon, essentially.
Yeah, they all like, blow up that baby.
Yeah, the people
kill that baby.
The people awake on planet Earth with a light They all vote. And then essentially Clara clicks the button at the last possible second.
Well, yeah.
It says abort.
Don't even.
I don't think that's happenstance. It's abort.
Oh my god. Does it actually? That's insane.
I'm pretty sure it did.
I need
Like
to see
she clicks like aborted or whatever.
that. Yeah. I need to see this. Oh, there is a fun little action sequence where they all walk down a hallway.
Oh, yes.
That's pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
That's very cool. Oh no, it comes up on the screen aborted. Yeah. Wow. That's insane. It literally says aborted on the screen. Oh my god.
And the writer's out here like, what? What do you mean? I weren't making any statements here. Fucking hell.
That's wild.
Also worth mentioning that Clara just overrides people's right to choose, I guess. No, my choice, actually. Which is, again, it's so messy, man.
Yeah.
Oh.
And like her choice overrides what everyone else wants. Yeah. And that is presented in the show as the right decision. It is never questioned that she did something wrong by ignoring the will of people. Yeah. It's that there was a right choice, and the right choice was to save the life at the cost of whatever it was. And that is an anti-abortion sentiment.
You're absolutely right, and it's presented in the dumbest fucking way possible as well, though.
Yeah.
Like, because it's presented in such a way where the episode is written like any potential problems that were caused because of this are just immediately solved by this external thing that was never actually part of the process in the first place. It's like, oh, and then a magic wand was waved and everything is okay, basically. Yeah. It's literally just a fucking hand-wavy thing. Actually, it's okay, and you're an idiot forever wanting to abort that baby. So, fuck you, really. Yeah. It's so fucking stupid.
Look what we would have missed out on had you made such a horrible, selfish, horrible choice. Like,
they literally have the astronaut bitch with no children thank Clara for making the decision for her, which again is like the whole thing of women regretting having abortion. It's like that sentiment is like, if you do it, you'll regret it one day. She literally thanks her for overriding like her own rights.
Yeah, thank you for enlightening me on your opinion. Yeah, I don't like it as well, because when Clara kind of goes back on everything and pushes the button, I think it just presents the idea of, it's a woman's right to choose, but only the right women with the right choice. Like, it's just like, come on, man. Like, it's so fucking yuck.
And
basically.
The doctor knew the whole time what the right choice was. So it's presented that, like, if we listen to the man and, like, he's not actually involved in this decision, we'll make the right choice.
Yeah. Nice little patronizing test for everyone. Like, are you going to do what we think you should do? Yuck.
So the doctor shows up, like, the fucking second that Clara presses the button, he shows up and they all get in the TARDIS. He tells them to get into the TARDIS, and they just basically, they go down to Earth, they land on a beach, and then they look up and see the egg of the moon hatching, and it's a little alien. It's a little alien. And then he's like, see, the egg disintegrates and everything's fine. No issues whatsoever. It's all magically solved, okay?
Yeah.
You silly little women, okay? Look at this. It's all perfectly fine.
Yeah, no repercussions, famously.
And then, but what is just the most fucking stupid thing is that then alien baby then just immediately lays another egg and it just fucks off. So the moon is just immediately replaced with another fake moon, another egg moon. I guess,
the perfect size in the exact same orbit and trajectory as the previous moon. It's fine. Don't worry about it. The creature laid an egg the size of it. That's insane.
Yeah, that is insane. Nuts. Yeah.
And immediately as well. Like immediately. Like, it's been born less than a second. It was in that egg for like billions of years. And then he just laid one instantly. That is wild, man.
Very wild. Yeah. There's definitely going to be some ramifications to the fact that we were moonless for 30 seconds? No?
No, it's fine.
Oh, okay.
I mean, not in the show.
Yeah, that seems normal and cool.
It's perfectly fine. Yeah.
It's fine. Don't worry about it.
The ending of this episode, well, not this part of the episode, right? It just reeks of like. I think this is probably where someone did confront someone and go, if you're making this parallel, like probably not. You know, like there are other factors of this debate to take into account. A lot of kind of like more progressive talking points that you've kind of breezed over. And the writer essentially, it just felt like the writer went, well, yeah, but we've only got 2 minutes to wrap this bit up because I got that scene with Clara and the Doctor.
I also don't like how the Doctor then is like, this is a good thing, actually, because then humanity goes off and reaches into the stars because we aborted this baby that one time, you know? Yeah. It's like, it's great how because of this, humans go off, you know, starts to creep off and expand beyond the universe, which, by the way, is like, has also been said in The Waters of Mars.
Yeah.
It happened because of a different reason as well.
Yeah.
So, like, I know continuity in Doctor Who, whatever, but, like, still, you know.
Yeah. You
choose one.
You live long enough, you're going to see the same episode of Doctor Who, but the writer has a different political ideology to the other ones. I think this is kind of what you were saying earlier. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but like, is this kind of what you were saying a bit earlier on about how this kind of sentiment of like, look, the fact that we didn't abort this baby is proof that you know this baby will go on to do amazing things. Like this is how your baby could cure cancer, kind of stuff. Like, yeah, it's just. You don't know. You're just making up nonsense. Yeah.
It's the fact that it reduces a very complicated and for, you know, some people find it an easy decision, but for many people a difficult decision to a thing where there is a right and a wrong choice.
Yes. Yeah.
And it is very, very clear. The Doctor is even like, you made the right choice. He literally says it.
Yeah. So it's I mean, it's strange, right? Because Clara's like, they've unfortunately used Clara as a vessel for a talking point that I don't think many people should agree with. But then they immediately position Clara in a different circumstance where when they go back into the TARDIS, she's obviously got the arse with the Doctor for leaving her alone and lumping her in with these people. But I don't, Nathan, this was the scene you wanted to really get in on, right?
Are we there?
I think we're there. Are we not?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay. They all head back into the TARDIS. He's like, I'll take you to New NASA or something.
No, he just makes a walk. He leaves her
off
there.
you go.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
Yeah, because she's a mean bitch who doesn't have children, so she has to walk to NASA.
Your penance.
I don't think you watch these episodes, man. I don't think you do.
I skip over these small details. Sometimes I'm writing notes, all right?
Yeah, he leaves her on the beach. Yeah, off they go. Clara tells Courtney to go back to Klaus or whatever. And you can tell girl is pissed. You can tell straight away, like she has got a look on her face where she is not too happy. But yeah, this is genuinely one of my favorite scenes in Doctor Who. Yeah. Okay, let's set aside the whole abortion shit. All right, let's just forget about that for a moment. Okay, I feel like you have to, because while that informed this, it's not about that at all. It's more about their relationship. And the trust and dynamics and everything about it. And I just I remember watching this for the first time and my jaw just being hung open in shock at watching it, because I had never expected like a companion to actually talk back to the Doctor like this. I had never expected, and I had never seen anything like the Doctor has been called out on his shit before, but this viscerally, this intense, it never really happened. And it was so refreshing and upsetting at the same time. And it was just so interesting to see. I fucking love the Clara. That moment where she says like, do you have fucking music in your ears when you're saying that? And like, tell me what you knew or I'll slap you so hard you'll regenerate, she says to him.
Gagged, as the kids would say. I was gagged.
I think Jenna Coleman does an amazing performance in this scene, and I really just love it so much. I think it's great. Yeah.
I remember, Catherine, you were here for the episode. You were on the episode with us, right? All of us like cheering when Martha fucking dared to speak back to Ten and give Ten some fucking jip for his horrible mistreatment of her. Right, and we're also, and like that's the most polite, amicable fuck you I've ever seen, right? And she, you know, the whole thing of like, I actually don't think you were a good bloke to me for a while, so I'm off. Wish you well. See you soon. We're still mates. And in this one, right? Yeah, I think it comes with the fact that obviously the Doctor's been a smug the entire episode, or since he found out about the moon thing. And I just to see that look, right? Because he walks in like hunky-dory, everything's fine, Clara's happy, and then the second she snaps back at him, like, no, it is fucking, you're right, it's none of your business. You see him kind of go, it's like, I don't know, it's like when you're about to be told off by your mum, but you're waiting for your friend to leave. You know you're going to be in trouble. So the Doctor's like, oh no, it's coming. It's coming. I'm going to get a telling off. But yeah.
I don't think he does know. I don't think he does. He seems pretty taken back by it. Like, even when she starts to bring it up, he's like, what are you doing? What's happening?
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Yeah. I think you're wrong and stupid.
I think there was like a small moment where he had like this like regret on his face where he kind of like twigged what like he had actually done. And I think that was really like brilliantly played by Capaldi. I love this whole scene for Clara's like arc in general. Like, you know, like there's always a bit of like a power imbalance between the Doctor and companion. I think with Clara, particularly in 7B, this was a little bit more pronounced. She was really kept in the dark about a lot of things. She was like repeatedly lied to by the Doctor. So I think like having her be the companion that really, really lays into him and takes control away from him and walks away. I mean it's permanent, but like walks away from the TARDIS is really powerful, and it's like I think a really pivotal moment in her whole progression in the show.
Yeah,
it's permanent. She's not in the next time trailer, so there you go. She's there. She's done. You know,
she's done. It's over.
Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't watch it. I was like, because I mean,
you didn't watch the episode. You didn't watch anything. All right.
One thing I specifically really love about this is how like obviously the scenario has pissed Clara off, but what really fucking gets her and touches a nerve, I think, is how offended she was to hear that the Doctor lumps her in with everyone else, every other predictable human, and it's such a, I don't know, I feel like because obviously they're dynamic, and we've spoken so many times about how Clara is, she has this kind of need to prove her capability to the Doctor and be seen as someone that is more capable than like
I don't think that's true. You keep mentioning that. I don't think that's true.
We've spoken about this before.
No, I don't think she needs to prove her capability to the Doctor. I don't think she's after some kind of validation from the Doctor. I don't think that's the case at all.
Okay.
More to herself than anything, I would say.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, there we are then. That puts me in my place. But I just love the moment, and you're right, Jenna Coleman does perform it so fucking brilliantly. Right? You can feel that she is seething like under the surface.
I am someone who also cries when I get angry. Okay. Like I cannot shout at someone without crying. Okay. Like if I'm in an argument and I'm shouting at someone, I will start crying. It's just like I can't control it. Okay. And it's nice to see Clara is also like that. It's nice to see her like crying as she's telling the Doctor to fuck off, basically. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I agree. You're always you're always crying when you're defending the blue suit. You're always just in floods of tears every episode.
That's different. Okay.
Incredible scene. Then we get another little scene just to close out the episode. Essentially, Clara goes. Well, she tells the Doctor to get fucked. Basically, she's like, "I don't want to fucking see you." What did she say? What's the line? She says like, "Go away for a long time" or something.
You go away now, she says.
I'll go far away.
Go in your lonely box and fly away. She says.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I don't know if I feel like, I know the Doctor was horrendous in this episode and treated her poorly and stuff, but like there's a part of me now that because the Doctor's an older gentleman, I go, no, don't be mean. Don't be mean. He's a nice boy. He's old.
No.
He's not a nice boy.
You know that intrinsic thing you feel for older people where you're like, oh, but you don't know how long they got. You got to be kind.
No,
He's
see,
not that old.
I know, but
I also don't have that. I've conditioned myself now to be like, any old person I see is racist. Okay, so when you're like, oh, look at that old person, I'm like, yeah, they're probably racist.
Yeah,
so,
questionable views.
Yeah, how did they vote?
Yes. You know? Clara's back at Coal Hill. She's kind of just getting her stuff together, I'd imagine, before leaving, and Danny kind of slides in from round the corner. Nathan, I want your opinion on this because you're a you're not a Danny supporter. I want to know where you stand on this scene.
I don't like Danny. Fuck him.
All right, but in the context of the scene,
I don't think it's again. I don't think it's any of his decision or opinion. I'd say fuck off, Danny. I don't care.
I like the advice he gives. You're not done with someone if you're still angry about it. Like you can't like sit on it, see how you feel, tell him tomorrow, tell me tomorrow. I like that. I think it's definitely less kind of controlling as how he came across last week.
You love Danny, man.
I don't love Danny. I just think because you're too close to Clara. I don't like Danny. I just see that him as a normal character with flaws, and you're like, fuck him, I'll murder him. Like,
I don't like him.
it's not that I like Danny. It's that you despise him, so I have to defend him just to be devil's advocate.
I think he could have been a bit more validated. I agree he was giving good advice, but I don't think Clara needed advice. I think she needed someone to be like, yeah, that was wrong. You're right.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
She needed support, not advice. Yeah.
And Nathan would have given her that support.
Exactly. See? Should have been me, man.
Should have been me.
Should have been me.
Lovely, lovely stuff. That's the episode. Really great episode of Doctor Who, I reckon. What do you guys think?
I don't know if it is.
No.
Yeah.
No. All right, it's time for some of this. No, we're doing thoughts first. How do we do this?
What is wrong with you?
I don't know. I've spaced.
We've done this over 100 times.
Not me. I've done it. Well, no, I have done it over 100 times.
Yes, you have.
All right, we're doing this, and I always knew about it.
Weirdo of the Week. Weirdo.
This is everyone's favourite section of the show where we get to take a chance to look back and reflect on some of the weird and wonderful and grubby little characters who come across our screens each and every fucking week. I'm just going to get my quickly out of the way, first of all, because there's not much to say that hasn't already been said, but it's basically the writer for writing this and then saying it's not a metaphor for abortion.
Yeah.
Sure, mate. Sure. Good stuff. Anyway, that's fine.
It's akin to that guy who made WALL-E, being
We
like
said this
the
last
environment.
night. Yeah.
What are you
Yeah.
talking about? There's nothing in WALL-E that suggests that.
We said that last night. Yeah, it's pretty fucking stupid, really.
It is stupid.
Yeah.
My weirdo is Courtney.
No, wait, so can I go
Sorry,
off that?
go.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just to go off that, can I also add every member of production staff that read the script, that didn't often note, the head writers, the script editors, the directors that didn't go, we want another pass at this.
Yeah. That's 100% fair. Yeah.
Yeah, there were so many no's that should have happened before it got to even on set, but yeah. Fucking hell. My weirdo is Courtney for having antibac in her school bag. Why?
She went to the chemist.
But why? Why would you pick up antibac spray? It's like a surface cleaner. It's not something you get from the chemist. It's something you get from fucking Sainsbury's.
Maybe she needed some to
For
clean
what reason?
to clean her home when she gets home. Maybe a mum asked her to pick some up.
Look, maybe. I think that's tenuous at best. I think it's a weird thing. How many times did you, at school, end up having antibac spray in your bag? I'm going to guess it was 0.
I don't know why you call it. I've never heard it being referred to as anti-bac spray before.
Antibac? You don't call it antibac? What do you call it?
No. Just like cleaning spray or whatever.
Yeah,
There's
just
different
cleaning
cleaning
spray.
sprays, though.
Yeah,
For
I
like your
guess.
sink, I'm going to use the windowy one.
Yeah, I don't have a specific name for them, really. Just be like, I'll get whatever. The Mr. Muscle or whatever, you know?
I'll just call it antibac, I guess.
All right,
It's just
well,
what I've
good for
always
you.
called it.
No, yeah, I think that's fine. I don't think it's that weird at all, really.
I think it's weird.
Why? The weirdest thing in this episode is a girl
I didn't say
having a
that.
fucking bottle of Silly Bang in her bag, is it?
You put me in these positions and then go on, get out. I didn't say that. I just said this is a weird thing. I didn't say nothing else is weird.
I don't think it's that weird.
I
Catherine,
think it's unusual.
thank you, right? It is.
I think it's fine. Like, you buy things occasionally, you know?
Yeah, but
I mean,
what
I didn't have a
15-year-old
kid.
is buying fucking antibac spray and then taking it to school?
Look, she went to the shops, all right? Maybe she had other things to buy.
She should have got some white lightning out of her bag
Yeah,
and
exactly.
used the alcohol content in that to kill the bacteria.
That's a good point. Yeah.
All right, we can all agree on that. Catherine, do you have a weirdo this week? Or are you? This can be cut. It's fine.
I just gave the production stuff. I didn't really have one. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
Catherine's weirdo is all the production stuff of Doctor Who. So when you do that on your little poll, that'll still fucking win the poll. All right. But when you do that on your poll, that's what to put down. All right?
Lovely, lovely stuff. All right, it is time for the audience to have their say.
What?
Yeah, there we go. If you're new, you can write in on the emails or the Discord. Let us know your thoughts on the episode. We look through some, we pick some out, we read them on the show. Nathan, did we get any nice emails this week?
No. We got some horrible ones.
Oh, okay, nice.
No, we got an email from someone claiming to be part of the TikTok creator program
Right.
But I don't know the legitimacy of it, really. I can't verify the legitimacy.
What do they want from us?
They're basically asking us to join the TikTok creator program. They'd be like, hey, come join this invite-only program where you can make money from TikToks.
Oh, you're not going to make it. We're not going to make fucking anything off TikToks, are we?
We might do. We got that one that's over 1 million views.
That's true, on Mamma Mia.
Yeah.
From before it was a Doctor Who thing, but we're never deleting those videos because of the views.
Exactly. Yeah. Excuse me.
All right, well, lovely.
No, we got an email from Leah Marie, who says, "Hello, Catherine, Nathan, and Lawrence. We are very much an afterthought." Says, "This is one of the worst episodes of the series. The only good thing about the episode is Clara, and they brought back the orange spacesuit. And damn, does Clara look good in the spacesuit." Her words, not mine, but I will agree. And that's about all that's good in this episode. It's just a very bad episode about pro-life. The Doctor is an arsehole for abandoning them, and they coming back at the last second to save them and say that they made the right decision. I totally agree with Clara when she goes off at the Doctor for what he did. Also, Courtney shouldn't have been in the episode. Brutal. I do have a question for Catherine. I think you might have already answered this. What would the effect be on Earth with the moon having the same gravity as Earth and increasing in mass? I know they say the tides is higher in the episode, but I was wondering what else would happen. You kind of already answered that, haven't you?
Yeah, I would say, well, I mean, it doesn't have the same gravity, but I've worked that out, but fine. Say it does. The other main thing that the moon does for us is the Earth is on an axis tilt, and it stabilizes that tilt, kind of as like a counterbalance. So if it gets bigger, the tilt will change, which, like, if we didn't have the moon, it would cause ice ages to happen more frequently. It's why our climate's quite stabilized, is because of the moon. So if you change the size of the moon, you'll change that tilt.
Don't change the size of the moon.
Beat up the moon.
Is the answer there. There we go. That was from Leah Marie, aka the penguin of the Discord. So
lovely stuff.
Lovely stuff indeed.
On Discord, Ruth J writes in, "What did they want?" I alluded to receiving this message earlier. Was it pro-life? They referred to, quote, killing the baby a lot, if that was the aim. Was it really a badly done pro-choice, brackets, your decision, womankind? Was it genuinely not meant to make you think about abortion? Did they really not mean that? Was the fact that the Earth voted with electric lights some kind of shitty allegory for only the privileged rich countries getting a say? What were they trying to do? Brackets, I'm leaning towards it all being pro-life bullshit, hoping I'm wrong. This episode is redeemed very slightly, only by Jenna Coleman's acting in the last 5 minutes. Everything else can get in the bin. Also, hi, Catherine, I guess.
That's your roof, isn't it?
It's a very good friend of mine.
Yeah.
Oh, is that okay?
yeah.
We've mentioned
Shout
that before.
out to Ruth.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we touched on most of that, didn't we? Like, just it's bad. It's just not good. It's handled badly. It's confused. Like, the most generous you can be to this is you can try and see the whole, like, your decision, womankind as a pro-choice thing, but then everything else is so aggressively pro-life that it kind of I don't know. It's being way too generous to give it that read, I think.
I don't think you need to see anything positive in it, personally.
Yeah, no, there's not really anything there. Any other emails or more Discords?
We got an email from Anise Sampson who says, "What the heck?" That's the subject line. Just what the heck.
Okay.
Hello, I'm Anise. So I found your podcast a few months ago, and I would just watch in random order of episodes. I liked which was mostly 9 and 10 era. I genuinely thought you were a little niche podcast, and I was so cool for discovering a little piece of gold. And then I decided, I'm going to watch the most recent episode. And my first observation was Nathan calling Lawrence his companion, which is fun. But then I got to the end, and oh my God, there was like half an hour of people's thoughts and emails. So I thought I'd check out your socials, and you are not, in fact, niche. I mean, that's still pretty niche.
We're still fairly neat. We just have a nice, loud group of people that listen,
brackets in the Doctor Who community, at least. Oh, there we go. Okay. Good on you. So now I'm adding you to that long list. Also, I've gotten to a point where I prefer the podcast to actually watching Doctor Who.
What the fuck?
But I can't just sit and listen without something to focus on, so I've became an absolute god at Subway Surfers, like I actually dream about it. Oh yeah, and the caretaker is okay, I guess. And then they emailed in again saying, whoops, sorry, I meant Kill the Moon, sent from my iPhone. So there we go. And that's all the emails we got. So there we go.
I love that there's someone out there that would rather, instead of watching the episode of Doctor Who, would rather listen to us comment on it while playing Subway Surfers.
Everyone needs a little hobby, you know?
That's fun. That's very fun. Joe on the Discord writes, as much as this episode has issues, I love the idea of a companion leaving because they're angry at the Doctor. I'm glad it wasn't the end of Clara, and I love where her character goes after this, but this idea of a one-off special companion would be great. I have issues with special companions because it feels like we always know they're going to die, and this would be a cool twist on that trope to have them leave the Doctor because of his behaviour.
I mean, it's been done. That's essentially why Martha left, really.
Yeah, I think, but like, to leave on bad terms, I think is the distinction here. Like, because Martha, you know, she comes back in the next season and they're mates. And she's in quite a lot of episodes of the season after it. So like, yeah, I think I love the idea. It would have been like narratively unfulfilling, but I do like the idea of them pulling a kind of shock, like, no, this was the straw that broke the camel's back. You can't go past that.
You like things for shock value though.
I do. I do. I do sometimes. Yeah, I think it's cool. It would be narratively unfulfilling, but if they prepped for it,
that's
and
the point. Yeah, if it's narratively unfulfilling, then what's the point?
No, because if you were going to head towards that, you could write it in a different way that would mean that this is a satisfying end. Just a shocking one will be all the same.
They wouldn't.
They wouldn't because they didn't. I'm saying in a scenario where they would.
They wouldn't.
For fuck's sake.
Would you just want a companion to just leave like that, Catherine?
I mean, I'd never say no if it was done well. It makes me think a little bit of I know she did kill herself, but Waters of Mars, where Adelaide ends with the Doctor in bad terms.
Yeah, that's
bullet
pretty
to
cool.
the head, bad terms.
Bad terms.
Yeah, can't get much worse terms, to be honest.
She does basically tell the Doctor to fuck off and then just kills herself.
Yeah.
So,
as you're wrong, this is how wrong you are. Bang, basically.
I'm gonna kill myself. Yeah.
Any more emails?
No, I already said that.
Interesting. Oh, okay, sorry. The Howler says, hi, Catherine. Just want to know what you think the chances are that we'll get 2 slushy boys a Glee Watch podcast from Nathan and Lawrence. Don't want to add to Lawrence's plate, but if you put that behind a paywall, I will gladly join your Patreon. Catherine, what are the odds?
Low.
Pretty low. Yeah.
Look, I'm stopping a podcast that I like. I'm not going to start one I don't want to do.
You do want to do it, though.
Look, there's a knack in the back of me, right, that is like, be fun. But I'm just not going to do it. It's way too big of a commitment for an idea that is only half interesting to me.
Also, what does Mr. Movies want to talk about more? Movies exactly. Or old episode of Glee?
He wants to talk about Glee. Okay?
Oh, don't get me wrong. Don't get it twisted. There's so much to discuss when it comes to Glee. It's true. And Nathan and I have often done this. Like, we'll finish a recording and then just watch like 4 fucking Glee performances on YouTube. Let me read out a couple more.
I might be starting a High School the Musical the series podcast though, so that might happen.
Is that legit?
No, but
God, why you got to do that? That would have been so cool.
You think I'm just going to start a podcast where I just talk to myself about High School the Musical the series?
Because right before we started recording, you were speaking to Catherine about it. I thought, oh my God, if you two start a show, I'd listen to it. That'd be well good.
No, I'm not going to do that. Not High School the Musical the series one anyway. But, you know.
Ooh, leaving the door open. Interesting. Bird's Eye View VT says, "Hi, Catherine. All right, with that out of the way, I love this episode. The return of the orange spacesuit, the mood shift when the Doctor just leaves them to decide the fate of the moon and the Earth. I was on the edge of my seat the entire episode. Also, I love that Capaldi joked when asked about wearing Tennant's suit by saying, 'I can still feel his hair gel in it,' which is a bit of fun. I didn't know he'd said that about the spacesuit.
That's good stuff.
That is good stuff. Yeah, I don't like the episode. I just think
I'm
it's
sorry,
a
I
different
didn't like
viewpoint. Yeah.
There's only so many times we can say we don't like the episode.
Yeah.
We don't need to respond to each one. I think it's fine.
No. Let me just have a read because there's probably one that's like specific. Pierce says, "Hi, Catherine."
A lot of
Pierce.
people just said hi, Catherine. Okay.
All right, and last one we'll read out from John Swanson 42 on the Discord that says, "Hey, Catherine, what based on modern sci-fi is more likely scientifically speaking? The moon hatching a big alien, the Earth hatching a big alien, or Lawrence hatching a big alien? Anyway, hi."
I like that this is what my master's degree is leading to. Lawrence hatching a big alien because the moon is well studied. The Earth is well studied. I don't know how many scientific experiments has been conducted on Lawrence specifically.
Lawrence is not well studied. You're right. Yeah.
I'm expecting a baby, but is it a stretch to say that I'm going to personally hatch an alien?
Yes.
Yeah, I think it might be.
Yeah, that is a stretch.
I think your wife is maybe doing the heavy work in this.
That's the whole men saying we're pregnant to another level. Really, that is.
I wind her up with that every day. The amount of times she comes home, she's like, "I've had a hard day of work." I'm like, "Well, I had to do all the washing, so we're equally suffering here."
Oh, your poor wife.
It's okay. It's okay. She knows it's fun. Lovely stuff. Thank you to everyone that wrote in. And thank you for listening. Catherine, you have a show. Talk about your show.
Yes, I have a Vampire Diaries rewatch podcast called Missing Mystic Falls, where we go through every episode of the 2010 show, The Vampire Diaries. It's a great time. It's a bit silly, a bit of fun.
It is indeed. We've both been on episodes.
You have?
Did you? You didn't? You never went back on, did you, Nathan? Do you need to go on again?
Okay, right. Well, you bring.
I'll get you back
on. Okay, I was never asked back on.
Oh wow! It's all coming out.
We'll
now.
get you back on.
No, I bring it up because I think we've had conversations like, would you try and catch up? Would you try and understand more? Or would it just be 2 episodes you have no context for?
That's what I want. I want there to be no similar characters.
Yeah,
but anything comes back.
I just drop in again, having seen one episode previously, which I cannot remember a single thing that happened in, and then this other one. So yeah, there we go.
Amazing stuff. Where can they find the show? Where can they follow you, Catherine?
Missing Mystic Falls pod on Instagram, and then Missing Mystic Falls wherever you get your podcasts.
Wonderful
Spotify,
stuff.
Apple Podcasts,
yeah,
Stitcher,
all those ones.
Amazon.
I've killed Twitter.
Music.
I don't know what I'm doing now.
Yeah, we
that's
also
fair.
killed Twitter. Yeah,
Overcast. Is that a podcast app?
possibly.
Feels like I think it's got this one with an orange logo. I think it might be called Overcast.
Good for them. Good for them and their orange logo.
Podbean.
Lawrence, you can wrap this up now if you want.
You can follow the show on Blue Sky, Instagram, and TikTok at StillGotLegsPod. If you do want to share your thoughts on the episode, like you just heard, the link to join the Discord is in the show notes, or you can email us at stillgotlegspodcast@gmail.com. A big thank you Thank you to Nina for managing the short form content, as well as marshalling the Discord alongside Maylena, and of course the head honcho Pierce. If you feel so inclined, we have a Ko-Fi link. Don't sign up to it though. We have a Patreon coming 1st of March, so be excited for that, I guess.
Oh yeah, fucking Nina did. Nina sent us.
I got an email about. Yeah, stop it.
Yeah, stop that, Nina. Okay, we should be paying you. All right, stop that.
It's outrageous.
Thank you. It's very kind, but stop.
Yeah.
I think she put in a message that said, "My last chance to donate before the Patreon takeover, and you won't accept my money anymore." So there we go. Stop that.
We accept your labour. You do stuff.
It could potentially be a different Nina.
Oh,
it
maybe.
does just say Nina, and I know there's at least 2 Ninas in the Discord server.
Okay.
So it is currently unconfirmed, but there we go.
Either way, Patreon
Yeah.
coming soon. Please stop giving us money for doing nothing. Make us at least give you something to give us money.
Yes.
That seems more fair. Lovely stuff. Nathan, we've got another podcast as well, don't we, for the time being?
For now, okay, right. You don't need to say for the time being. Okay. I when I do it, it's like a fun little joke, but when you do it, it's sinister because you killed it. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
But yes, we do. It's called Another Happy Pod, where every week for now we watch a movie, TV show, video game, pop culture, shit, whatever we do, and we talk about it. Next week or this week? Wait. Later this week we will be talking about Better Man, the Robbie Williams is a monkey movie, and last week we talked about Sherlock Holmes for too long. So there you go.
I watched Better Man yesterday. Oh my gosh.
It's good, right?
Talk about it Friday.
There was so much to discuss. Much to discuss. Thank you for joining us, Catherine. It's been a pleasure. As is tradition, when are you next coming on the show?
Oh God.
Probably relatively
yeah.
soon, because she might be filling in whilst you're whilst you're off gallivanting, you know? Okay.
In that case, Catherine, I will speak to you at some point in the future.
Yeah. This is really great because I'm about to start covering my manager's maternity leave, and then I'll also cover
Karen Lawrence's paternity leave as well.
Incredible. We'll try and bank some so you're not like having to real pick up my slack.
Yeah. I've already said I'll give you a maximum of 2 weeks off, but that's it.
Yeah, well,
So,
look, it's not really your call, so that's fine.
I think it is.
If you think so, that's fine.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for listening. We will see you next Monday at 10 a.m. Stay lovely, stay interested in Doctor Who, stay doing something while I find the outro button. Here it is.
I pressed it too. Pressing it twice.
Oh no, double.
At least they were kind of synced up.